After my last video, a lot of you guys direct messaged me a lot of questions about the industry and some career advice, so I felt like it would be a good time to go through some of those. So, on the question of job security, how do I guarantee my own job security? And so, this one's a bit of an interesting one. Job security is a bit of an illusion. So, what I mean by that is really when you're working for somebody, job security, ironically, is your ability to get your next job, potentially outside of that employer, because that's the value of transferable skills. That's your value that you are actually articulating and providing. And the only other type of job security that you can have is if you're self employed or entrepreneurial, because then you are creating your next job effectively. Okay, so an interesting one now on management. How do I be an effective manager? So, to be an effective manager, you need to be technical enough to represent said employee or team skills enough and understand the technical reasoning behind it, or be technical enough to have done those in the past. We come up on this argument of being a technical manager and that shouldn't exist, but how will you be able to judge how long something will take to do or whether you're overloading their schedule unless you know that? You need to be technical enough to not impede them, but you also need to keep their schedule clean. If you need to take on some of those meetings instead of them, if you need to say no to keep their schedule open, then that's also your job. Okay, so now an interesting question about remote work. If RTO is only for my team, what does that actually mean? RTO actually requires a more experienced manager, not employee. And what I mean by that is you have to have the ability to mentor and clear their schedules, that they're in the right mindset to be delivering. And you have to be confident in that if you're their manager. And so I think it's a bit inverted where the general guidance before this was, oh, you need to be an experienced employee. And I kind of contest that. I think you need an experienced manager. I've had to manage teams, across the world. I would never actually be able to walk into check on them type of situation. You have to trust their skill and know their skills and trust that they know what they're doing and set clear goals. And if they're not getting to them, making sure that you are there to provide the guidance to get to those goals, right? So it really requires an experienced manager and not the employee.